Hey there. Welcome to Overwatch 2. That's right, the game that almost every YouTuber used as a background back in 2017 recently got a sequel. Well, not really, it's more of an update that just added a few maps and redid a few things, but yeah, it's fine, you know. In Overwatch, there are 36 different legends, each with their own unique weapons, abilities, and lore. Some are good, some are bad, and some are unbelievably busted. And in this video, we will be ranking them using unknown scientific techniques and complex mathematical equations. We'll be starting from F tier and going all the way to S tier. So without further ado, let's get started. Disclaimer, this game has had a shit ton of balance updates, each trying to make each legend fair and skill based. While they have failed a lot in this process, the game is still very well balanced. Because of this, there will be a lot of things in this video that you disagree with. This ranking is based on what I think the better legends are, based on a few hours of playtime. But if you spend 800 hours playing what I would consider a C tier character, you're probably going to be better than me, and therefore have a better opinion on it. But at the same time, I don't care. This tier list was made for the casual player, who doesn't play Overwatch 9 hours every day. So type up all the essays you like. I don't care. Enjoy the video. Starting off in this tier, we have Doomfist. Now Doomfist used to be a very good DPS character. He even used to be one of my mains. So it baffles me why they would take one of the best characters overall, nerf him, and change him to a tank. He feels awkward to play, does no damage, and the only consistent kills I could get with him are through his ultimate, which isn't even that good. He still has some of the best voice lines though.
And they say chivalry is dead.
F tier. Next up, Widowmaker, the sniper lady. Boring. You could argue that playing her takes so much skill and lots more aim than other characters, but no. She just sits in the back, misses 10 shots in a row, hits one headshot, and brags about it for the rest of the match. F tier. And finally, we have Soldier 76. Okay, whose idea was it to put this man in Overwatch? This guy is straight out of every major shooter game. He has a so-called heavy pulse rifle, which is just an SMG, and he has spectacular abilities, such as sprint, heal, and even grenades. Yes, his ultimate is a literal aimbot, but it's still boring as shit. Sure, he's a fine character, maybe C tier at best, but when I play Overwatch, the game where Epic DJ Guy can fight Big Monkey from space, I ain't gonna play the most basic ass character. F tier.
Now, how about the new student, Timmy?
Welcome to D tier. Starting off, we have Junkrat, the first new legend that we're covering. She has a shotgun that doesn't do much. She has a throwing knife that stings and brings people towards you, but only a little bit. And she has a small healing ability that also doesn't do much. Now with this in mind, Junkrat actually sounds okay on paper, but in practice, she's not actually that good. You just end up dying, like, a lot. Her ultimate is also okay, but it's really easy to avoid, and you just end up being thrown to the enemies and dying. D tier. Next up, Wrecking Ball. Whoever's idea it was to put a hamster inside a mechanical ball that has miniguns, you deserve a fucking award, my guy. Wrecking Ball, or just Ball, can roll around and shoot people with his 2 miniguns. They kinda suck. You can also grapple around and slam yourself into people at high speeds. That also sucks. You can even launch mines everywhere as an ultimate. Now these don't actually suck as long as you use them correctly, but besides that, he sucks. D tier. Next up, Winston. Monkey. That's right boys, King Kong is making an appearance in Overwatch. This monkey can aggressively run around and zap people with his special lightning gun. He can zap more than one person at once, and he can even jump really long distances in order to rub his slimy monkey toes all over you. He's not that good. And his ultimate sucks, so D tier. Next up, Pharah. Oh my god, please kill me. Pharah isn't really bad, but she's boring as hell and really fucking campy. That's cringe. Her whole thing is that she can fly around and shoot rockets at the little people below. That's it. Sometimes you get a kill or two. Main character, and the people that usually play her need to go outside. D tier. And finally, Zenyana. He has the most powerful healing ability in the game, has a serious pair of kickers, but overall isn't that good. He can barely do damage to anyone, and he barely does any healing without his ult. So, D tier. C tier. From here on out, all of the characters are somewhat enjoyable to play. However, not all characters are created equal. Starting off in this tier, we have Symmetra. She can shoot turrets that do quite a bit of damage, and she has a beam that just does beam things. I don't know, man. Her ultimate is just a big fucking wall. Now, Symmetra used to be really good back in the day. So what happened? Nerfs. She's still playable, but she's only really good in close quarters. C tier. Next, we have Tracer. Her real thing is that she can bend time and do weird and quirky things, such as spraying enemies endlessly and accidentally falling off a cliff because you weren't paying attention and used all your abilities. She's really good on some maps and kinda useless on others. C tier. Next up, Genji. The dragon becomes me. Pretty simple. He runs around and throws ninja stars at people. He's a movement character, so I like him, but he's just bad overall. The only redeeming quality that he has is his ultimate, and it isn't even that good. Mid character, C tier. Next up, Junkrat, explosive guy. He has a grenade launcher as his primary, he is literally immune to his own explosives, and even drops bombs when he dies. Sure, there's nothing wrong with Junkrat, but it's the people that play him that scare me. They all have some sort of mental disability, where they think this takes so much skill. Yeah, shut the fuck up. He definitely deserves higher than C tier, but I'm putting him here purely out of spite. Don't play this man. If you do, I will find you. And there is no escape. C tier. I have a question for you. Do you hate your teammates with a burning passion? Do you feel like you're always being dragged down by Overwatch's flawless matchmaking? Do your healers not do fucking anything? Well, I have a solution for you. Roadhog. The one-man apocalypse, baby. Equipped with a big-ass shotgun and a hook, you can successfully bum-rush the enemy lines all by yourself. Taking too much damage? Well, have some more health. Healing? We got you covered, baby. There's nothing that Roadhog can't do. Oh yeah, he still sucks. Due to some unfortunate nerfs over the years, he is no longer insanely OP. You can still bum-rush with him, but you're probably gonna die once everyone notices. Rip Roadhog, you might be missed. C tier. Next up, Baptiste. This is going to be controversial. I just don't think he's that good. His main thing is the immortality shield, which makes it so that you can't go below a certain health. It's good, but it takes like 2 shots to destroy and it doesn't provide any meaningful healing. His weapon is average, his ult is average, and his other abilities are, you guessed it, average. C tier. And finally, we have Mercy, the healer. Healing wise, she is definitely S tier. No questions asked. She has this stick that provides a constant stream of healing. You can literally pocket someone to make sure they almost never die. But she can't do anything else. She has a terrible pistol as a secondary, and it's so bad that if you get a kill with it, you're just flexing on your enemies. C tier. Starting off in B tier, we have Reaper, Shotgun Man. This guy floats around with his dual-wielding shotguns and is an annoying little bitch when trying to deal with him. When playing as him, teleport behind or to the side of an enemy team and use your shotguns to your advantage. When you get low, simply float away. His ultimate is also pretty good. Very solid guy overall. B tier. Next up, we have Hanzo. Remember Genji from earlier? Yeah, this is him, but with a bow. The bow is super powerful, but it takes a lot of skill to use. You can also use his special tips to reveal the locations of the enemy team, and he can shoot 6 arrows at once. Unlike Genji, his ultimate is actually pretty good and hard to deal with it, mostly because it's a big fucking dragon that comes out of nowhere. B tier. Next up, Sigma, the man of space. His whole thing is that he loves the universe and space and stuff, and this shows in his voice lines.
Remarkable! The subject weaponizes momentum through geometrical navigation.
Thank you, Sigma. Very helpful. He can tell his little nuts to go attack people, which they do, and you can also gather people's damage and use it for a big healing boost. He also has a barrier and a fucking space thingy, I don't know what you call it. Those are okay. B tier. Up next, Brigitte, or however you say it.
Wah, you're telling me that this fucking nutsack over here is better than my main man Junkrat?
Yes. Let me explain. She's fun. That's right, boyos. I like to have fun when playing my video games. You can constantly combo your enemies, and somehow manage to avoid death for many, many seconds. B tier. Very underrated. Up next, we have Sombra. Hacker lady. She just goes invisible and hacks people, and she's pretty fun because her weapon is a spray and pray. You have these little teleporter pads that you can stick in the corner of a map, and wherever you get low, you just teleport back and replace the teleporter. Her ultimate is a huge EMP that hacks everyone and does a lot of damage. She's also a bitch to deal with. Very fun. B tier. Up next, Echo. Now Echo is a legend I have mixed opinions on. Some games I played with her were great, and some were not. All of her aspects are good. Her ultimate literally clones a character off the other team. Her sticky bombs are way too OP. She's also pretty good at movement. B tier. Maybe. I don't know. Next, we have Ana. Sniper Lady V2. This time, she can heal teammates instead of being a useless piece of shit at the back. Her weapon is a decent sniper that can also heal teammates with her shots. Her sleepy pill thingy is decent and can actually save you in some 1v1s, but she's really overrated in my opinion. Almost everyone would consider A, maybe even S tier, and I just don't see it. B tier. And finally, to end this tier off, we have none other than Symmetra. Now I haven't actually unlocked him yet, but from a few minutes of playing him in the practice range, I can tell that he's pretty good. Although everyone who uses him is a sweat, he seems pretty good in actual matches. Don't take my word for it though. Beta.
Ready up, Jesse. You don't realize.
Welcome to A tier. From here on out, these are characters that I would actually play if I got the chance. First off, we have my Mantorium. This sweaty little man runs around placing and managing a single goddamn turret. But wait, there's more. He loves lava, and all of his abilities and weapons have something to do with it. His primary can both shoot pieces of lava or a fucking shotgun version of it. He can be powered up, which lowers the cooldown on his weapons, and his ultimate sprays lava all over the ground, which can lead to some insane plays. Very nice. A tier. Next up, Bastion. The robot that was almost completely removed from the game because of balancing issues. His weapon is very OP, his grenade can bounce off walls and is generally pretty good. His gunner ability is somehow even more OP. His ultimate is OP as well. He's a very low skill character. The only catch is that he's easily countered by like half the characters in the game, but what can you do? A tier. Next, we have Cassidy. This rootin' tootin' cowboy of a legend really loves his revolver, and I must say, I do too. It's just so satisfying to use with all the sounds and the animations and yeah. You can also hipfire the revolver when someone comes up in your business. Yeehaw. What am I doing with my life? His ultimate's also really good, as it allows you to focus your fire and kill people almost instantly. I wouldn't say that he's OP, but he's pretty fun to use. A tier. Next up, Moira. Everyone's favorite healing character. Yay! Her whole thing is that she has two special magic tubes that do different things. One is for healing, and the other is for damage. She has this magic dust that heals, this demonic stream that does damage, and her ultimate, which does both. Her damage is actually pretty good. So good, in fact, that some people can forget that they're playing as a healer. Those people are called DPS Moiras. Boo! Overall, she's a pretty good character, but please, use the healing. A tier. Next up, Reinhardt. Big guy with a hammer. As you might expect, he's pretty melee based. He has a big ass shield that is really good as long as you play as a team. You can bash people into walls. You can even shoot this weird fire thingy out of your hammer. His ultimate is good, as long as you use it correctly. If not, well, very nice. A tier. Next on our list, we have Sojourn. She's a movement-based DPS with the coolest weapon in the game, the railgun. Not only is it insanely cool, but it is also ridiculously powerful if you use it correctly. You charge up the railgun by shooting out normal shots. Once you get to a large enough power, you press right mouse button, and then you press right mouse button, and then you press right mouse button, and then you hit him with the very fun. Also, her ultimate removes the charge up for the railgun, so it's OP. Very cheesy, but fun. A tier. And finally, we have Zarya.
Wah, Zarya.
Yes, let me show you what I mean. If you've ever played Zarya, you'll know that she's a tad bit special. Her weapon is bad, and her little shield bubbles don't last for more than 2 seconds. But magical things happen when you combine the two. You see, for every bit of damage that these bubbles soak up, you get a bit of power. This may not seem like much, but the more power you have, the more damage your weapon will deal. Once you get above 60 power, you start to become ridiculous. And if your mercy happens to pocket you, well, yeah. She's also ridiculously fun to play. A tier, really underrated. Finally, the moment we've all been waiting for. S tier. Here is where the greatest legends lie, and I'm gonna be honest, we all know who's gonna be on this tier. Starting off strong, we have Ashe. Her weapon is both a decent rifle and a decent shotgun. She has this knockback thingy which is good for close quarters and knocking people out of the objective. It can also be used for movement. Her firebomb thingy is good. Her ultimate is this robot named Bob, which is basically 2 free kills every time you use him. She's decently fun to play, and it's satisfying when you hit a few headshots. S tier. Next up, we have Diva, the kind of character that takes little to no skill, but that's okay. She's literally an anime woman in a mech suit. Now I ain't no weeb, but like, everything about her is good. Her guns are good, her abilities are good, her shields are good, her ultimate is way too OP, like it's literally telling the devs to nerf it kinda OP. And almost everything about her is really easy to use. S tier. Next, we have Lucio. Do I really need to say anything? He's good, fun, and kinda hard to play, but you get used to him after a while. He has skates that make him able to run on walls. He has a healing range when his healing mode is active. He has these big ass bullets, which are really hard to miss with. His ultimate is good, giving bonus health to all nearby teammates, and he's a movement character, so bonus points. S tier. Next up, Mei. Ice Woman. She's an ice-based character that freezes people, and she's really easy to play. Her weapon is this thing that sprays ice juice, so water I guess, at people in a short range. Not only does this do damage, but it also slows people down and eventually freezes them. You can also hold the right mouse button to charge up a long range version, which does a shit ton of damage. Her ultimate is fucking OP, literally freezing everyone in a certain radius. She takes little to no skill and is annoying to play against. So that's why I love playing her. S tier. Next on our list, we have Arisa, yet another robot with a machine gun. Unlike the others though, she does actually take some time to get used to. Her whole thing is that she can just bum rush people and somehow not die. She has this javelin that you can pin people with, an ability that stops you from taking knockback, and a spinning stick that pushes people backwards. Her ultimate is really good as long as you have a decent amount of health, but otherwise there's a decent chance you'll die. She's just an overall good character though. S tier. Finally, we have Kiriko, the new healer, which is actually pretty good. She can teleport to any ally and give them these special healing tickets, which are also pretty good. She has some throwing knives that do a lot of damage, but they're hard to aim, and she has this big boost that does a lot of healing. Right now, she's probably the best healer in the game, and I don't see her getting nerfed anytime soon. Good character overall, use her all you can. S tier. And that's it, that's the tier list. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed, I guess. I don't know, man.